Hey guys, today I'm going to do a quick review of the latest MacBook Pro 13-inch 2000 edition that I bought. I bought it on the day that it came out on the 4th of May. So I switched from the mid-2014 edition, which is this one. Well, they both got covers. You can't really tell, but to be honest, they look pretty similar. So it's been almost 6 years, 5-6 years. It's been amazing switch. I've been waiting for this new one for the last couple of years actually, because of obviously there was a lot of problems. A lot of people reported about the butterfly keyboard, which in fact I quite like. But then the main kind of concern was the 10th gen Intel processor. So eventually I pulled the trigger the day it came out, and instead of going for the base model, I went all the way to the max model, the max edition. So yes, I went with the i7 quad-core Intel Core i7 instead of the standard i5. Upgraded the memory from 16 gig standard base model to 32 gig. And also upgraded the Intel Iris Plus graphics card as well, and 1 terabyte hard drive. I think apart from the hard drive, everything else is pretty much maxed out. So I just want to quickly talk about my experience with it so far for the last few days. I received it 2 weeks from ordering it. So a lot of people concerned, obviously right now there's a global pandemics going on, so a lot of people concerned about the webcam. As you probably already know, that is still the same 720p webcam as the previous versions of MacBooks. Unfortunately, it is true even with a maxed out version of it. But in fact, comparing directly with my previous MacBook Pro 2014 edition, the same webcam seems to be a lot better on this one. So the it has better clarity, and the picture quality is just crispier. It looks a lot nicer. Obviously, it would be great if it has bokeh effect, but you know, it's just a standard webcam. You can't really ask for too much about it. Maybe in the future, Apple would consider adding a really pro webcam to the MacBook series. So in fact, also something I want to highlight is the webcam is a little bit wider than what I expected. So I literally did a direct comparison that I see that in the new MacBook Pro, the viewing angle is quite a bit wider. So when you do a conference call, you can see a little bit wider background from the view. So that's something to bear in mind. Obviously, the key differentiator is blazing fast. It's super fast, to be honest, in terms of all the general usage, especially when it comes to video editing. It's a lot faster than what I had from 2014, which was the main reason that I bought it. Build quality, one thing I need to highlight for you guys. Even though the size, the spec is almost identical comparing to the previous MacBook Pro series, in fact, I bought a case which was made for the 2019 MacBook Pro 13-inch edition, which actually doesn't fit 100%. So the main issue is here, the hinge of the MacBook Pro is different from the previous edition. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. So I did use that 2019 case, which I got it from Amazon, to put it on here. So as you can see that it's actually working okay, but just that little tiny bit, that the top lid that connects to the hinge area is not completely fit as I want it to be. So I'll probably have to wait for a couple of more days to see if there's like actual 2020 edition case for this. And then what else? The new keyboard. This new keyboard is absolutely beautiful. I did like the butterfly version of the keyboard, and then I also quite like the original Magic keyboard that came with my 2014 edition. But the new keyboard, maybe it's because for the 2014 edition I've been using it for so long, the keyboard gets a little bit this hollow sound when you click on it. But the new keyboard is just absolutely beautiful. It has this butter smooth sort of touch sensation to it. It's really smooth and it's really quiet. It's just absolutely beautiful. And another couple of things I wanted to remind you that in terms of adapters, I bought USB-C hub that connects to multiple cables, including 3.5mm jack for audio, a HDMI cable that I connect to my main monitor, and also Ethernet cable, of course. So unfortunately, that actually doesn't work. So for some reason, the Ethernet actually breaks my router for a really strange reason. Maybe because of speed. I don't know. I use 100 megabit hyper optic internet. It had never had any problem before, but as soon as I connect the USB-C hub to this MacBook with Ethernet, with that hub, it just breaks the internet. Really bizarre. And then obviously make sure that if you want to use 4K 60 hertz for your external monitor with this Mac, usually the USB-C hub that has a lot of connections doesn't actually work 60 hertz, so it goes all the way only up to 30 hertz, and the audio 3.5 millimeter jack doesn't actually work, so I had to return the USB-C hub, use the original one that I got for MacBook 12, which works fine. I think that's it. In general, super fast. I tried it with gaming this morning as well, with Sleeping Dog from Steam. Unfortunately, it's really slow and really laggy. In general, if you want a machine that you want to use it for gaming, don't buy a MacBook ever. Go with PC, go with a gaming PC. But if you just want to play some casual games, you don't have high expectations, but obviously if you want to buy it for work, MacBook is the way to go. So I'm going to happily pass on this old MacBook to my favorite person in the world, my girlfriend, who hopefully will enjoy the beautiful thing about MacBook. Well, obviously she's switching from PC. So I think one thing I wanted to mention that is that if you're new to Mac, and if you never used Mac before, and if you're thinking of upgrading to this 2020 edition of Mac, if you have the money, go for it, because it's absolutely amazing. If you don't have the money, and if you just want to try how Mac goes, how Mac works, in fact, this 2014 edition of MacBook Pro with SSD is actually still pretty good, hold on pretty well. To be honest, if I don't do much video editing or any photo editing and that kind of stuff that requires heavy lifting, I wouldn't even consider upgrade, because my old MacBook actually holds pretty well. Its SSD is really fast. It's dual-core Intel i5. Screen is beautiful. I can't see any difference when I compare the screen quality between those two MacBooks. I literally can't see any difference. So if you and probably you can get one easily for less than £500 instead of the new one that I paid, especially for the maxed out version, which cost 2.5K. But yes, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.